our next guest used her platform to highlight 20 astonishing women who use their barriers to fuel their success.
Hey, how you doing, Veronica?
Good to see you again.
Yeah, Veronica Dagher, Secrets of Wealthy Women podcast, which is in a tiny little publication called the Wall Street Journal.
That's right. You may have heard of it.
No big deal.
Yes.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. So since you've last joined us, you have authored your first ebook.
Yes.
Resilience: How 20 Ambitious Women Used Obstacles to Fuel Their Success. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Super excited about it. We're getting great response.
We don't associate obstacles with success, though.
I know, that's the interesting part, right? Because you see on Instagram and you see on social media like these women with incredible lives. You're like, they must have always had it made. Everything goes their way. And you know what? That's not the case.
Well, you know, Instagram is the highlight reel.
Right, that is true. That's a really great
point. Life sizzle reel.
That is so true.
We don't.
It really is.
We don't post that.
I know, exactly.
When you have the flu, you're not like, have the flu.
Like, well, let me take a selfie. Oh my gosh.
Or you'll filter your picture if you have a red nose.
Totally. I know, I'm all about the filters, right? But but to your point though, it's like, so people put this great image forward, but in reality, we've all had different struggles, whether it's in our personal lives, whether it's in our professional lives. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. And so the women I spoke to, like Ayesha Curry or Mary Higgins Clark or Sheila Johnson, they all had various obstacles they had to overcome. And the difference between women like that and sort of the average folks are that when they fall and they face an obstacle, they don't let it get them down. They just keep going. So really inspirational women.
So tell us more about, for our viewers who don't know, tell us more about the podcast, how you gave birth to the idea.
Right. So
the Wall Street Journal is kind of like the newspaper of record in business.
Right.
And it's kind of associated with older
guys.
white men.
Old white guys, right.
Wall Street. How'd you pivot into this podcast about women?
I know, and wealthy women. Super exciting. Yeah, so we understand that there's this huge wealth transfer happening in America, like $33 trillion happening, and women stand to control large majority of that money. And we said as a paper, as an organization, we need to do more because our audience, the people handling the wealth in the future, are a lot more diverse than they were in the past, and we need to be on top of this. And we said, everyone loves inspirational stories. They like storytelling. That's what the journal's known for, among other things. And we said, okay, what's a great way to do this? Well, let's highlight some of the women who are at the top of their game in various industries, various walks of life, and showcase their stories.
Who were some of your favorite or some highlight interviews? You mentioned Ayesha Curry.
Ayesha Curry.
Curry's wife.
Right. She's amazing. She's so down to earth, beautiful, smart, successful. She's really has it all going on, really great family values as well. What's interesting about her though, and she's become super successful as a restaurateur, as a top best-selling author, has a cookbook, cover girl, that's right. She's everywhere. And so some people have said to her, and I asked her this on the podcast, like, oh, you only got everything you have because you're Steph's wife. That's the only reason you're successful.
Oh,
she didn't like that.
She earned it herself.
She did earn it herself, so she made a really great point. It's like, yes, I have doors open to me because of Steph. That's obvious. That's not a surprise to anyone. But I have to be the one to walk through those doors. And she is working hard. Like, she works all hours. She's at that restaurant she started. She's got a couple restaurants now at night, couple nights a week. She's got this business she has on her website. She's very much a hard worker and determined to do the right thing for her and her family and her viewers and listeners and all the fans. She's got something like 7 million social media fans. She's huge, but she's so down to earth.
So talking about the Currys and resilience, and how did that fuel you writing this ebook? Because you're seeing these women,
right.
They're encountering something that would basically be a career ender for most people,
right.
Or damage your self-confidence or the way they view themselves. How did they get past it?
They got past it through various ways. So some of the techniques are something as simple as saying positive things to yourself. So when everyone else is telling you, no, you're never going to make it, no, you're never going to be successful or wealthy or what have you, they're like, well, that's your opinion, but I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep trying, and just watch me. So that's one way, right? Watch me, right? But that takes a lot of inner dialogue, and that doesn't necessarily come easily to even the most successful people. They have to work on that themselves, be their own best coach, best advocate. They also seek support from other groups. So they'll seek support from groups of women who've become successful, ask them what their tips are. They've also have guys as mentors and sponsors. And sometimes it's just you keep asking and keep trying. So for example, Sheila Johnson, who's the co-founder of BET, she went on to start her own hotel chain. She's a billionaire, Salamander, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's super successful. But after she left BET, she also was facing a really difficult divorce from her ex-husband, about Bob Johnson. It was all over the papers, very public.
I read about it.
Really difficult, as you know. But anyway, she wanted to start this hotel chain. And here she is, a seasoned businesswoman, very accomplished, a billionaire. And she went to various banks and they said, no, we don't think you have it. We're not going to give you a loan. And it's like, when you hear that, are you kidding me? If anyone deserves a loan, who has a track record and actually probably doesn't really necessarily need the loan, she just wanted to diversify her risk as she started this hotel, it's Sheila Johnson. Yet she heard no time and time again. With her story, she eventually found people to believe in her, and now she's got plenty of backers. She has her own money invested. She's doing very well for herself still, and that's not a surprise. But she had these people tell her no, and she just kept trying to find someone who did believe in her. So that's also one tip. Just keep trying to find the people who do support you, and try your best to turn off the noise and the voices of the people who don't. So surround yourself with those positive people.
Wow.
Yeah. And don't listen to the haters.
I feel like
don't listen to the haters, right?
Who needs this is good advice for everyone, because I'm internalizing.
It's totally for guys and for women.
Mindset.
It really is. Mindset is so important. And yes, I've had CEOs write to me saying, male CEOs, a big Fortune 500 company, actually sent me an email after reading the book and listening to the podcast. He's like, thank you for telling these stories, because they not only help me, but they help me as an executive, they help me as a father, they help me know and understand what women have to go through, and gives me tips on how to encourage them through their obstacles. But yeah, it's helped me too. So that's nice when you hear those stories.
So we're almost out of time, Veronica, but I want to hear a little bit about you.
How
did you pop into this, world?
Oh gosh, in the world of, writing this ebook, I was just so inspired by so many of the women I had met, and I thought this common sort of refrain of overcoming obstacles really resonated with me. My own dad died when I was 11, left my mom a single mom to raise two young kids. She was completely unprepared financially and had to learn a lot, and people try to take advantage of her in various ways. And so, but she overcame all those obstacles and eventually taught me to become a financially savvy woman, an assertive woman, right? And so having her example is always in my head, and then that mirrored some of the experiences I had with talking to some of these women. So just trying to amplify the stories of women who have faced challenges and overcome and become massively succccessful, sometimes because of those challenges.
That is absolutely inspiring, including your own story.
Oh, thank you so much. That's great.
We're still getting used to this format.
Oh no, I love it. That's right.
Definitely a person of inspiration. The podcast, which was featured on Bold's blog,
yes, we've had Carrie on it.
Carrie was on. Tell us more about your conversation with our founder.
Carrie was great. She looks so beautiful there. Yeah, super inspirational too. She didn't necessarily have the easiest childhood. Her parents had faced poverty at one point. She had to move, I think, 17 times, or she went to 17 different schools. And she also had a mentality that she was raised with about money, that money necessarily isn't a good thing, that money is evil. And she had to learn how to overcome that mindset. And she studied Stoicism, which is a type of philosophy, as you know, and that helped her rethink the idea of negative ideas about money. But as a result, anyway, she's grown as a person. She's faced obstacles. She had the courage, in her words, to leave the Mormon church and start her own thing, start a business, no less, which isn't a small feat, as you know. And so she's gone on and become super successful. And she's, as you know, she's all over the media, CNN, Fox, you can see her story everywhere. And she encourages other women. I get a sense from her that she's very collaborative and wants other people to do well. And
She encourages everyone.
She
She's
does.
been monumental in encouraging me in my career.
that's so great. Really
yeah.
nice. I think it takes a very secure person to do that,
It does.
and someone who's willing to put themselves out there for someone else. I think she's learned from her obstacles and being able to feel secure enough and inspiring enough to inspire others. So
And to offer platforms for others to use their voices and to shine spotlights.
Like us three right here.
Exactly. I know. It's so exciting. Yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
Well, it was so great learning about your ebook and more about the podcast.
Thank
and
you.
being
Yeah, I might
inspired.
start listening to it. I am a
Oh,
subscriber.
please do.
Are you kidding? That's like my Bible. What do you think I read first?
That's
thing?
right.
Wall Street
Thank
Journal.
you.
Yeah, no, wonderful publication.
Thank you
wonderful
so much.
guest. Thank you, Veronica.
Thanks so
Dagher.
much.
Veronica.
Great to be
Pleasure
here.
meeting you.
Yeah, same.